We'd like to welcome each and everybody to Mark Boersma for Dummies. Um, and so there's this is the backstage pass. So what happens when Mark is stumped? Google doesn't know the answer. Not even close. AI, the trillions of dollars invested, they definitely don't know the answer. Shoot, they can't get basic things right. But they'll make it up. It's so human. It's so much like human beings. Like if you don't know the answer, you just make it up. So what I'm working on right now is I'm working on the in the next dimension principle. I'm working on the dimensional gap. So in the past, like this is a fractal. It's like a snowflake. It's like a pattern that goes. And so in life, there's a pattern that goes up and like the game shoots and ladders. And then you go down. And so for the last, I don't know, 10 years, I guess it's been 10 plus years, like I didn't understand this. Like, why would people go down? I mean, kind of, sort of. Like, what moves us forward is faith, see, understand, do, humility, great stewardship, contentment, self-discipline, perspective, strong life vision. What holds us back is fear, do not see, lack understanding, do not do, pride, poor stewardship, lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, low morale, lukewarm. And so there's so in the past, what I've known is like you get to the top of a pinnacle and there's a gap here. And to go ahead and jump that gap, to jump that gap, it's going to take work. And you've worked so hard, you're so tired. It's cool to play pickleball with people in their 20s and 30s, especially gals. I'm so tired. I'm like, really? Like you're in your 20s or 30. How can you be tired? Um, but they don't have as much trauma as I do. So, like, yeah, no, if you have enough trauma, you need therapy. You're going to be on that court a long time. Like a guy asked me Wednesday, he's like, "Are you tired?" No, I'm ready. Give me enough. Let me go out there. So you have to work. You have to work, and you just come up. You know, you just come up here. And so as you get to higher dimensions, it's like that Taylor, song. Like that song is just beautiful. It's like Taylor, honey, you know, not saying, I'm not saying that your trauma, your pain doesn't have meaning. I'm not saying that's what the honeys do is they have pain that they've self based on their own choices. Yes, I chose to get married. That's true. That I did choose, and I accept that choice. And yes, I did choose to have children. So I accept that choice too. But you kind of hope that if you're a good dad, if you're a good husband, you kind of hope, ooh, this could be a PB church one too. You kind of hope, like, if you go ahead and make really good choices for decades, you hope something's going to work out. And when it doesn't, you're like, that really sucks. And so I saw my mom and dad in their 70s, well, in their 60s, actually start to give up. And my mom would say, "You don't understand, Mark. You're not in your 60s." I'm like, "Okay, mom." And so that keeps me going. It's interesting. We were talking about yesterday and the white male over 50 and and Victor went ahead and says it's how a man is raised. And it's like, well, maybe it's how a man responds. Like my dad definitely was not like involved in our kids' lives or our goals or like, I mean, I'm not saying he was an amiable analytic, so he didn't care about anybody besides himself. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, um, you know, all his parishioners thought not all of them, but a lot of them thought he was a really nice guy and really caring guy. And I'm not saying he wasn't. I mean, he was to the extent he could. And so, I never had modeled to be a husband like I am. I never had I mean, kind of a little bit. My dad, anyway, ish, but definitely not being a dad. Like I never had a dad. I've never seen a dad like me ever. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying I'm better or worse. I'm just saying it just is. So, anyways, I just kind of thought that you kind of become comfortable and then you slide down. It seems like now there's something more that's being revealed to me at 62. And so I don't know if I can find it quickly here. Um, Rosanna went ahead and says when Trump, she got this from her Facebook. And so when trauma gets triggered, you don't act your age, you act the age your wound was created. Think of it this way: your mind is a house, and somewhere in that house, there is a locked room that you haven't opened for years. Something happened in that room when you were 8, 14, the younger version of yourself. Something happened in that room. So what you did was turn off the light and shut the door, and you kept on living in the rest of the house. But that room doesn't disappear, it just waits. The moment something enters your mind, it sounds like that old fear, that door comes barreling open, and all of a sudden you're right back at the age that hurt happened, and that's why you shut down. For the blackout principle. So I've been working on this for, what is it now, 14 years. And it's like, and you shut down. That's why you panic. That's why you get defensive. Because it's never today's version of your reaction. It's still the younger version of you trapped in that room that never got to finish the story. But here's the thing: true healing is not pretending that that room doesn't exist. It's walking back in that room, turning on the lights, and making sure your younger version of yourself, and I don't know if this was written by a woman or not, feels safe. See, I would change that. I don't think it should be safe. Safe means that you're controlled by somebody else. So I would say feel strong because when you do that, you stop reacting as your younger self of you, and your reactions finally start growing up with you. And when you stop acting like that, entire room doesn't exist. You take the entire house back. So one of the epiphanies that I've had is with women is women want desperately to be a woman. What I mean by that is they want to have the control and the authority over themselves and everybody else as a woman. It's why it's fascinating when women go ahead and treat me like I'm a child and they're my mom. It's like you trust me, you're not my mom. So it's just funny. And women do it. It's not just my wife or my daughters who do it. It's all women. It's just the coolest thing. And what I realized in my sleep last night is I realized women want to act like a woman and have all the control until it blows up in their face, like Eve did, like Sarah did. There's tons of examples. And when it blows up in their face, they want to be a little girl. So they want to have the authority of a woman, but they want the responsibility of a little girl. And then what they do is and they aren't able to connect the dots, or they don't want to connect the dots. So something bad happens to them and they don't want to connect the dots. It's back when you made a decision. You made a decision to do that, a conscious decision to do that. They don't want to connect the dots. They want to be a little girl. And so they flip back and forth. Like, I've never heard this in a book. I've never heard this on a podcast. TikTok doesn't have it, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it doesn't have it. Like, first person maybe ever in all of humankind that mapped this out. So every woman wants to be a princess, and every man wants to be a knight, a prince who rescues the princesses. So the woman gets herself into trouble, and the man comes in and rescues because he can. He wants to. And the woman feels great, the man feels great. But what if the knight's not there? So I think that there's something that's happening in this invisible space here, and I don't know what it is. But I wonder if it's connected back into here. Like, I wonder if this doesn't have to be so painful. I wonder if there's this invisible bridge here. If somebody's healed, but if somebody's not healed, they either can't or won't make the jump. So what is in this gap here? So when Mark Boersma for Dummies, when AI is not going to figure this out. Google's not going to figure it out. There's not a book out there. So what Mark needs to do is Mark needs to go ahead and get good night's sleep consistently. And God will either reveal it to Mark or God won't. Like, that's God's choice. But it's my choice. Am I open to it? Am I open to the truth? It's fascinating to me on how people think they want the truth, but they really don't. They really don't. They really don't. Elaine, questions, thoughts, insights?
Um, don't know if I have any insight, but that's an interesting thought.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's on the cusp. Like, I'm on the cusp of, like, I didn't realize the gap. Like, I understood there's a gap. I understood there's a gap. Like, I've known that. I didn't know there was something in the gap. But I think I'm coming close to it. Like, I remember years ago, like, you see dimensions, and so you see they all flow together. But if you take a microscope and put it right at that point, you see a gap. But when you're looking so high into the air, the driver doesn't see it, the expressive doesn't see it. But the analytic, you go, what's going on there? And then you see it. But 12 years later, 14 years later, I realize there's something in there that's even, I've got to go deeper. I've got to go deeper. I've got to go smaller into the quantum. The quantum is actually the small. It's going smaller and smaller, more and more detail. So, what adventures will I see when I get there? I don't know. Rosanna, any thoughts, questions?
No, it's interesting thoughts for sure.
Right? Right? Nora, I don't know if you're back or not. If you are, any questions or thoughts?
No, I don't think I have any.
So, it's fascinating on how there's three women on.
And
And there's no thoughts other than it's interesting, but there's no thoughts that they have. I wonder why.
as we're thinking
About what?
about what you said, thinking it over, trying to see some nuances, trying to connect dots, doesn't make sense.
Right. Right? Like you've never had this thought before, which is fine because I've never had this thought before, but I've had a lot of them around the thoughts. I'm like, what's really going on here? Like, what's really going on with my wife? What's really going on with my daughter? What's really going on with women? And then what's really going on with women and men? And how does that all interact? And at the Garden of Eden, what really happened there? Like, what really happened? Like, what really happened? Like in the last few weeks, I thought, huh, like, did Adam seduce Eve to eat for Eve to go ahead and do it? Like, did he say, man, honey, that really looks enticing? Did he seduce her? Because I saw that happen in a situation with a husband and wife. Fascinating situation where the husband seduced the wife to make a decision, and now the wife gets to live with the decision, and the husband gets to be the goofball. Like, and so I saw that. So did Adam go ahead and want it and just got his wife to do something? Or did Adam go ahead and just sit there like he's like a rock, like and the wife's like, I'm just going to do this. Did Adam go, I don't think that's a good idea, honey? Like, I don't think, I mean, obviously she didn't have a dad, she didn't have a brother, she didn't have a friend. It was just Adam. One guy, one guy. Did he say anything? Doesn't seem like it. Seems like he just sat there and watched her do it. It's a week. Well, it's not that. It's 3, 4 days. Well, no, it's a week. Yeah, a week and a couple days before Rosanna. And somebody said to me, if she dies, you're going to get blamed for him. Like, oh, yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, I get that. I understand. Yeah, I understand. So I think like you ladies, you have not thought about these thoughts, like not even in the genre. You haven't even like it hasn't even crossed your mind. It's like this is like a new world. It's like holy cow. I have no thoughts other than it's interesting, and which is fine. It's just obviously Mark's been thinking about this. Like like it goes. My mind goes all the way back when I think it was 9 years old, going fishing at Camp Fairwood. My dad wouldn't because he was so busy. So he said I could go find it. If I could find somebody else to go with me, an adult, that I could go. So I found this man, and he had this 5-year-old daughter, and she just absolutely controlled him. Like I'm twice her age. I know where the good fishing spots are. I'm the one that invited it. But the girl says, Daddy, I want to go here. And he did exactly what she wanted. Here's a 5-year-old girl. I remember thinking at the time, I didn't get upset, didn't get angry. I'm just like, probably want to file that in your filing cabinet. I remember, I'm like, that's just goofy. That's just weird. Like, why would he do that? So I wonder how many dots, like, I wonder how much pain that a woman has and she doesn't realize she's the one. It's the choices she's made. And she hasn't learned from her past decisions. I don't know. But this is, Mark Boersma for Dummies. This is like, you might be thinking, you're you're thinking about that gap in the invisible, yeah, and what's going on, yeah. You're like, you really truly do have way too much time on your hands. I'm like, right? But that piece could change somebody's life. Who knows? Might save somebody their life. Or, if their life is lost, at least you have an explanation of why it's lost. Yep, that's what happened. So thank you all. Appreciate you all. We'll see you. Bye.